This podcast contains explicit language.
And spoilers. Only if you suck.
This is Dave.
Carlos, Two Fat Guys Talk Games, episode 39, where we talk about what's coming up in the new year, predictions, and going over our predictions from last year.
Yep. End of season 1.
We're going by seasons, apparently. Let's just all pretend that Dave knows what he's talking about. Let's go over last year's predictions, Dave.
Sure, Carlos.
Alright, so we listened to our episode predictions that we made back in episode 27, 28 for 2013, and we jotted them down roughly, and I definitely got more right than Dave did. For sure, no doubt, no question, because, you know, that's why they keep me on the podcast, because I'm right all the time. And David isn't. So let's go over how I was right. So, I predicted last year, or at the beginning of this one, that the PS4 would cost $350. Now, I was lowballing it. Obviously, it came out to be, what, $399, right?
$399, yeah.
But you were like, it's going to cost $550 to $700, way more expensive than the Xbox 720. You're going to need to mortgage your house to get a PlayStation 4.
Didn't quite say that. I just said I was going to have to sell you.
Yes,
And then I'd still need another $699 of the $700.
So the PlayStation 4 did come out to
Unless I was selling by the pound.
Yeah, but you'd get quite a bit of money. It came out to much more reasonable prices than anyone ever anticipated, thanks to the System Wars and shanking Microsoft in the back during E3.
I don't think that was in the back. I think that was more of in the side, and then just sort of twisting it. There was no backstabbing there. That was all right from the front.
I also predicted that there would be a new Smash game trailer that would not excite me. Well, there was a new trailer, but unfortunately it did excite me because Mega Man was in it. Here to tell us about why that doesn't matter to him is Dave.
Doesn't matter because it's another Smash game and I don't give a fuck.
Good point. And I'm not being sarcastic either. That is a good point. If Sakurai has his way, this will be another shitfest for nerds who like Nintendo because they like Nintendo and nothing can dissuade them. But Mega Man!
And now Rosalina's in it as well.
Rosalina's in, and she looks to be like an Eddie-style puppet character, which the Smash series has not really seen unless you count Wobbling with the Ice Climbers. Shoutouts to Wobbles. Got cheered at EVO and gets booed at Nintendo events because Nintendo fans are the dumbest, and fighting game fans are awesome.
Sometimes.
I predicted that the Xbox 20 will, unlike the Xbox 360, only have a 20% failure rate. They will not red ring, and Microsoft will blame the user for all problems. Now, that last one's a given. Of course Microsoft will blame everyone but themselves. But I think we've all seen the videos of certain Xbox One disk drives being horrendously faulty.
I think the percentage on there wasn't really the point. I mean, we've seen the failure rate. Any new system is going to have some certain amount of failure. Doesn't matter who the producer or who the creator is. In the case of the Xbox One, I've seen them actually fix the problem by punching the bottom corner.
I fixed computers for it.
Because that puts the gear that's not actually grabbing back into the proper place, and it works. You shouldn't have to punch your console to do it.
Well, hang on. Pinball machines have encouraged nudging for some time. Maybe it's time that in order to save yourself, you need to death save by punching your console.
I mean, the PlayStation 4 has had where the blue bar of death, I guess they were calling it, where it wouldn't boot at all.
Mm-hmm.
But again, when you make several million consoles for a console release, a certain failure rate is kind of expected.
I've talked about it on the show before. PlayStation 3, super reliable. My first one was a dud out of the box.
Yeah, it does happen. A certain percentage of brand new electronics are going to fail because they don't boot it up at the factory. We don't really want them to.
Nope, we want it to be pristine.
If we want our systems to be working 100%, 100% of the time, then they'd have to boot up at the actual factory, and we don't want that.
Next thing I predicted was that Microsoft will release a new version of Windows that's like Windows 8, but with all the shit removed. That has not happened, even though there were improvements to 8.1. Windows 8 is still a piece of shit.
Yeah, you know, they kind of did a snatch and grab on that one, where they were like, oh, well, you want the start menu back. Okay, well, we'll give you the start menu back and you can boot into it by default, but, oh, no, we're not actually giving you back because when you hit the start menu, it takes you right to the Metro interface.
The Metro interface.
It's a bait and switch.
A bait and switch, yes. Snatch and grab.
So,
you know what? Snatch and grab probably still like their mindset.
You were right on the whole 8.1, even though they didn't put the extra one on the end of it.
Well, I also wanted it to be called Windows 3.112.
True.
So
yeah, no, Windows 8 still sucks.
And that shows you how old we are. Good God. I predicted that there will be a Zelda Four Swords game for the Wii U, with everyone needing their own gamepad or 3DS or both.
And I killed that in the predictions right away by saying that the system can't handle 4 gamepads.
Yes.
But still no game that requires everybody to bring their own 3DS.
There is a cool-looking Wii U Zelda, the tentatively named Hyrule Warriors, or as I call it, Dynasty Warriors Zelda.
Yep.
And as a fan of Dynasty Warriors Gundam, yeah, I'm game. I'm game to play as a scarf-wielding badass Link to take on millions of monsters at once. I'll play that game.
Is that a Wii U seller for you, though?
Well, no, but it will combine with other games to make me want a Wii U. There are quite a few Wii U games I do want, despite hating Nintendo with all my might and love and...
Like what?
Heart. Wonderful 101. I've just heard nothing but things that make me think this will be a really fun game for me to play.
Okay.
Super Mario 3D World.
Yes, okay. Can't argue that one.
That X game, and having a Wii U will let me backwards play some of those RPGs that sounded really good, like The Last Story and...
Xenoblade. Tower of something...
And I've heard the dubs, the British dubs, and I think I like them a little better. I like the British accent in my JRPG characters.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, I kind of want those games. So, plus, now that Nintendo's doing a unified Nintendo ID for all their systems, it'll be easier to keep track of shit as well. I predicted that the Steam box will be awesome. That prediction cannot be verified at this time.
Actually, I'm going to say not confirmed. And here's why.
Because it's not technically awesome, so it's not out yet.
They've actually shown us a couple of the Steam boxes, but it's not going to be a unified Steam box. It's not going to be one developer making the Steam box a la a console.
No.
It's going to be almost like a brand name.
Sure.
That multiple groups are going to be able to build stuff, so you're not going to have, a Steam box in X amount of colors and styles. It's going to be pretty much what I always thought it was going to be.
It's going to be
a fucking computer.
It's going to be an Alienware PC specialty built for Steam.
Pretty much. And from what I'm reading, I'm a little bit worried about it because their Steam box, the OS, I've already said in other podcasts that I'm not a big fan of what they're doing there, other than making it more available to more people. But the hardware requirement for the companies that are building the systems, they're pretty high.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I mean, the systems are costing more than either the PS4 or the Xbox One.
Maybe that's the thing that Steam wants to do. Maybe Valve wants to do what Microsoft and Sony do and take a hit on the hardware and make it back on the software.
I don't think so. I think it's the consumer paying the price.
Oh, we'll see.
Because if they were going to take a hit on it, you'd see it around the $399, $499 area, not the $799, $899.
Maybe. Plus, there's also the fact you can build your own, of course, because being a PC and being modular, like PC building is.
Again, I don't think the Steam box is going to be a viable competitor to the consoles anytime soon.
Perhaps, but I guess we'll have to see. At the moment, it is not confirmed. I predicted that Dave is an asshole. This is confirmed. And that Dave will die sometime this year. Now, this year's not yet over. We're recording this on the 22nd, hoping to have it out on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, folks. You know what would be horrible irony if you had gone to a tragic accident on Christmas and the next episode was me being like, oh god, Dave died on Christmas, and we made fun of that.
Let's hope not.
Let's hope not. Dave's a good guy. I predicted that Star Wars The Old Republic will be free to play in full by year's end. Not confirmed.
Not confirmed.
Nope.
No, I don't see that happening anytime soon. In fact, I think the game is getting actually worse, with the exception of the new expansion that comes out in January that adds in full flight sim capabilities.
Yes, I saw that as well.
I'm kind of pumped to try that, but I don't think I'll end up going back.
Mm-hmm. Maybe,
I think I'm done with my Old Republic urges.
$0 is the right price for me. So
Well, the expansion's going to cost.
Yeah, I might. Oh,
It is.
I'll see. I predicted that the next WoW expansion would be the Alliance and the Horde joining forces against a playable Legion faction, and that Anduin Rin was going to romance a Pandaren chick and fuck her panda pussy. Now, none of these things happened, although they tie into my next two predictions that I would weird out Dave with the panda pussy.
Yep.
And that I would feel great shame. So, no panda pussy for Carlos. I predicted on the FPS front that there would be more variation in FPSs, and I predicted this in response to your prediction that we're going to see less of them this year. Here to talk about the FPS market is Dave.
Well, I think this year's been an interesting one for FPSs in the fact that we've seen a number of re-releases, things like Shadow Warrior, Shadow
Warrior, Rise of the Triad.
Oh, yeah, Rise of the Triad. So we've seen a couple of remakes of old franchises. Having bought Rise of the Triad, I played the first couple stages, but I gotta say, there's just something there that I'm no longer a fan of. I don't know what it is. It might have been not the difficulty. It's just, it looks nice, and yes, it is a recreation, not a complete enhancement of the original game. So I appreciated that. It looks good, it plays good, but I didn't get too far. Granted, I'm not playing as many games these days. But on the FPS front, I think we did see less FPSs this year. But the ones we did get definitely ranged from stupendous all the way down to absolute dog shit.
We've seen quite a few indie games on Steam Greenlight that are trying to be the new version of classic Doom.
Yes.
A surprising number of them, in fact.
I'm not counting in the indie games. I'm only going with the
mainstream stuff.
The main AA, AAA titles. Because if I go indie, we're seeing a very large resurgence of FPS is based on many fronts. Mm-hmm. So
that is more variation.
I did my prediction last year based on AA and AAA titles, but if we look at indie games, yeah, we're seeing a resurgence of many, many different styles. So I guess I was right on the variation. As far as there being less, as long as we're not counting indie, I was right there as well.
Now, I was the one who predicted variation.
Oh,
so
did you?
I'm taking credit for my stuff.
Fair enough, yours. On the other hand, though, we didn't see many good ones this year. I mean, BioShock Infinite, which was one of my predictions for being delayed, wasn't.
Yeah, you predicted it would be delayed until June, and then I asked what year.
And I said yes. On the other hand, unlike most DLC where you pay for the season pack, it took them until November to give us the first chunk of storyline DLC to the game. So
some games don't get DLC at all.
Well, yeah, but in this case, they sold a season pass right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, that creates an expectation.
They promised us proper DLC and not non-multiplayer DLC yet. Because there's no multiplayer. So I was wrong on the game itself being delayed, but they definitely took their damn sweet time giving us a portion of the current DLC. BioShock Infinite was probably the best shooter released this year, based on how uncomfortable the actual subject matter made the player think. Well, as long as you weren't
racism and gore.
A racist Southern American Civil War person.
It made me uncomfortable at how boring that game looked like. But I haven't played it hands-on. I've just seen videos.
Fair enough. I guess maybe playing it is what really does it. Going through and actually taking your time, listening to people talking before you kill them, stuff like that. The subject matter really made me uncomfortable, and in that way, the game really succeeded.
Sure, and that maybe I'm not judging it fairly because I tend to use video to determine whether or not a game will be worth my time. And video is better than still images, for sure, but
absolutely,
there's still things about a game that you can't really feel until you play it.
It was very pretty, and very good. However, we've also seen a year where the Call of Duty, Medal of Honor, and Battlefield games were all pretty damn lackluster. Now, that being said, I'm going by reviews and videos I've watched.
Because neither of us are Battlefield and Call of Duty guys, really.
I left those games in the dust many, many years back when Call of Duty was still, or Medal of Honor was still based in World War II games.
Sure.
So, I can't speak for their actual quality. I don't play it for the multiplayer, but I hear the single-player stuff has absolutely sucked.
I'm not a Call of Duty guy. I don't like to shit on them, even though I tend to play the kinds of games with audiences that will shit on them, because that's just stupid to shit on them. But it's not my thing, so I don't know how much I can say there.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I was hoping for more variation, because I want more classic Doom-style FPSs. I want more FPSs that are like if someone took a JRPG and made an FPS out of it. Like, that's kind of what I want, right?
When did Borderlands come out this year? No, it was the year before, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Borderlands still excited me throughout the year with its DLC. That's one thing that Borderlands has always done well, as long as you're not an inbred hick. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about FPS. Is I look at my game wall, and other than Borderlands and that... actually, one second. Let us bring up my Steam games here. Because there might have been one or two other ones. Let's go all games. Speaking of lackluster, we had XCOM's The Bureau.
Like the idea.
Good attempt, but definitely did not live up to the XCOM strategy game that they had made throughout the year. Deus Ex Human Revolution had its director's cut release this year, which... combined the DLC and the main game, and they actually tightened up everything. Redid some things, so that was a much needed... I'm not gonna say much needed, it was just a nice fix for things. Far Cry 3, was that this year?
No, it wasn't.
But Far Cry Blood Dragon... No, Blood Dragon was last year still. Again, I'm looking at my titles.
But point is, FPSs
Point is that I'm looking at my titles, and I tend to go for a bunch of the shooters.
In some ways there's variation, in some ways there aren't. Sure.
Metro 2033. That was a game from this year. And we're talking variation. That was one that also did a very good job of making things interesting. It was almost horror genre, but without all the jump out to scare the crap out of you. Spec Ops The Line. That might have been last year, though. Actually, I think Yahtzee reviewed it last year, so...
Yahtzee. Entertaining and retarded all at once.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it for the year.
Okay.
At least for my stuff, so moving on.
My next prediction was that Final Fantasy 15 would get announced, and that the Final Fantasy 13 sequel announcements would stop. How ironic, given that Final Fantasy Versus 13 has been rebranded and supposedly, even storyline-wise, changed up, and is now Final Fantasy 15.
Which, for the first time in years, we're both pumped for.
Because it was made by the Kingdom Hearts team, and even though I have my issues with a lot of what Kingdom Hearts does on the narrative and mechanical side, there's still a solid action RPG in there. And if they can do good things with that engine in an environment where they keep that stupid Toriyama asshole who did Final Fantasy 13 well away from... I might just be excited for a Final Fantasy game again.
Oh, but he's on the council.
I know he's on the council, but maybe they'll kill him or something.
Maybe they'll vote him off the council.
They'll vote him off the council.
And Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced as well.
Yes, I predicted that it would be announced, and I was right. And I'm still mad about it.
I thought it wasn't going to be announced.
Yeah, so there we go. I predicted there would be more bullshit grinding elements in our games, like experience bars where they don't belong. And there's this big controversy behind that Xbox driving game, was it Forza 5?
Oh, okay.
Where it's a full-priced game, but you have to go through the microtransactions to get anything done in any reasonable length of time.
Yeah.
So... Again, people start demanding that devs stop using XP bars. And anytime a friend of yours says that they need the XP bar to make the game meaningful, do me a favor and punch them in the scrotum for me, please.
Again, and I'm sure I've made this point before, but other than Microsoft being assholes in this one, because this very much screams Microsoft, especially being a launch title that they were really hyping up, I think XP bars can still stick around purely on a cosmetic level.
You can have cosmetic XP bars, and you can have XP bars in games where they make sense. They make sense in RPGs.
Yes.
They make sense in MMOs. Halo 4 didn't need it for your guns, but it was added because 343 thought people wanted it because of these popular Call of Duty games.
And they've been called on it.
They have been called on it, and I'm still not sure how much they've listened. If they've listened, I might just play Halo 5. If they haven't, I won't.
You're not playing Halo 5. We're not getting Xbox Ones.
I might. You never know. I want to play Killer Instinct, man.
That game looks and plays like shit.
You look and play like shit. I'm sorry, Dave. Can I rub your nipple to make it better?
Sure.
I predicted that David Sirlin would make a new Kickstarter that I would support. David Sirlin did make a new Kickstarter for Panda. I did not support it because it did not look like the kind of thing I wanted to buy, and because I was poor as shit when he made the Kickstarter. Sorry, David Sirlin. I still am all homo for you. 2013 would be the year that I would finish Arkham Asylum. Not only did I not finish it, I finally admitted to myself that I would never go back, and I sold my Arkham games.
Including the signed Arkham City?
I fetched quite a good buck for that.
You bastard.
Yeah. I predicted that we would see the new WoW expansion, which we did, and that we would see Titan, which we didn't.
Well, no, we didn't see Titan because... Oh yeah, they've gone back to the drawing board on it.
On the MMO front, I predicted that more MMOs would drop the whole server idea and just have intelligent instancing and creation of servers dynamically in real time based on players joining. I'm going to wrap that up and make that a prediction for 2014. I still believe this is the future. It just didn't happen in 2013. It will happen, I promise.
Rolling that into my couple of my predictions I talked about last year, we really did not see any new MMOs this year. Big ones, at least.
No, not big ones.
Sadly, we did lose Warhammer Online.
Yeah.
Which was shut down not because there weren't players, but because they no longer had the rights to the license. Kind of sad about this, because even as much as I haven't played it in years, I really did like the PvP in that game, and I did like how they did the whole story, booklet, lore, everything else in there. It just wasn't enough without friends.
WoW stole a whole bunch of stuff from it, and Warhammer Online to this day does a bunch of things that I wish all MMOs would do.
Yeah.
And WoW stole a bunch of them, which should tell you how good they were.
So yeah, we'll miss Warhammer, if only on a technical level.
For sure, for sure. I said we'd see more on Rocksteady's Superman game. We have seen nothing.
In fact, Rocksteady seems to have fallen off the planet since they've stopped doing Batman games.
So, we're up to my wish list, so let's jump down to
just go with your wish list.
Nope, we're doing your predictions now. Because people are listening, they're like, man, this Carlos guy's such an asshole and never talks about Dave. Alright, so we made fun of the fact that you predicted the PlayStation 4's cost already, so we'll move on from that.
Yeah.
You predicted that there would be a new Mario game, but you were not specific about it.
Yep.
There was in fact new Mario announcements in this year of Luigi, for sure. We talked about that Mario alternate realities game idea, which we hoped would be made, but
hasn't.
It would be made yet.
Nintendo not quite desperate enough yet, I guess.
We talked about BioShock Infinite. You predicted it would be delayed until June 2013. It wasn't June, though.
No, it was like April.
Okay, so you close.
March or April, one of the two.
But you aren't closest without going over.
Yeah.
You predicted that the Xbox 720, because we didn't know it would be called what it ended up being called.
The Xbox One. Or the Xbone.
Or the Xbone. You predicted it would use a Windows 8/Windows Phone style Metro interface,
and I was right.
Absolutely. You predicted that Nintendo will go out of their way to fuck with their online experience even more.
Now, okay, I've had a couple changes this year as far as it goes to Nintendo. I still don't own a Wii U. I have, however, in time for getting the new Zelda, picked up a 3DS, and my library is already starting to increase.
Jesus Christ, you have 5 games already?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7.
God! You're a giant homo.
Some were birthday gifts, everything else, but I've got the Zelda, I've got the Pokemon, I've got my Harvest Moon on it. Christ. I've got the I can't pronounce it. Shin Megami Tensei 4.
4.
Don't even ask me to continue past there.
Understood.
I got as far as I can there. But there have been a number of 3DS games that while I have admired from a distance, I didn't want to get a 3DS for. Finally got the Zelda-branded, awesome-looking 3DS, and I'm really enjoying my 3DS. I still have my Vita. I still buy games for my Vita, but it's nice having it.
I liked it better when you pronounced it the Vita.
Vita.
It reminded me of some kind of dog food.
Or just, the Vita crackers I buy.
The Vita crackers.
In this case, Nintendo's online strategy, we're starting to see a shift. They still don't care about a Xbox Live or a PSN style online interface.
But what they have is pretty good. You can buy...
And that's where I'm going with this. They have really improved how they're doing things. Their online... their built-in Me Finder for getting close to people is actually kind of neat. I actually travel with my 3DS in my inside pocket, just on the off chance that somebody in a food court might, have their Wii doing the same thing.
There are times I've driven around Edmonton with my 3DS in my car. I'll get home and I'll be like, 10 Mii's?
Exactly.
What are people doing with their lives?
Yeah, Carlos. So, they're improving. They're still not where Nintendo needs to be. They still...
But I think they finally get that they have to get there. Like, there's finally the unified Nintendo ID.
I don't think so, though. I think while they've made little baby steps, the unified ID is definitely a big one for them. Mm-hmm. Whenever Sakurai or any of the head guys talk about online still, it's all, well, we don't think this game needs this.
Yeah, and you're right. And Sakurai will talk about how he doesn't want to patch a Smash Brothers game because it should be a complete package, which is fucking retarded. We live in 2013, people. We live in the future. And before we get to the far future, let's have Nintendo catch up with now and start to admit that, hey man, your internal testing team isn't the world audience, and maybe you might need to patch. Now, of course, you can get heavy-handed in your patching and patch things so that they're not fun anymore. MMO devs are guilty of this, for sure. But occasional non-knee-jerk tweaks and adjustments and new DLC, these are good for games' longevity. Nintendo patches games already. I've gotten a patch downloaded for the new Mario & Luigi game to fix some bug I didn't even know about.
Which is why I think Sakurai really is not going to have a choice in this. It's going to have an online mode based on Nintendo's demands, and he says he wants to be a full package. Guess what? The fans are going to say, this needs to be fixed, that needs to be fixed, and he's going to be forced to do it.
Well, maybe...
I think we've reached that level where...
Keep in mind that Nintendo fans are the dumbest people on this planet.
Let's tone that down just a little bit. They're not so much dumb as they are extremely loyal in the console war. Yes, that can make them dumb, but I'm kind of trying to let go a little bit of the Nintendo hate.
What bizarre world are we in when I want to hate on them and you're telling me to calm down? The fuck happens here?
I just think that as much as we pick on Nintendo for its bad design choices and its strategy or lack of strategy, they are starting to be brought into the 20th century.
Sure. Maybe that'll improve. I'm not sure if we can hear your roommate in the background.
I doubt.
I'm just, if you can, people, just please disregard because, live with people. Sometimes we'll pick up other noise. So let's continue with your predictions. You said that 2013 would be an interesting MMO year and that we're going to see pay-to-play go by the wayside.
I don't think that really panned out this year, more for the lack of new MMOs. I mean, the only thing that we really got this year were still WildStar still in beta.
WildStar looks fun, I gotta admit.
It looks fun, but I'm going to have to be able to try a beta or a trial before I actually go into it. Mm-hmm. Rifts went free to play this year.
And apparently got played quite a bit.
Actually, I beta tested Rifts and...
I think it's just Rift.
Rift? I liked it. I couldn't give it the time, so I never bothered actually buying it back when it was a pay-to-play game. So that might be a game that I pick up. We're seeing arena combat style games, which I didn't really put into the MMO category, like Smite.
Just to add to that, a prediction that I put later in your list for some reason was that you said there'd be a lot more freemium-style games during the year and a smaller pool of MMOs to choose from.
Which, definitely I was correct, because the only thing that actually launched this year was Final Fantasy XIV. 3 years after they released that piece of shit broken one. Mm-hmm. Or was it 2? Whatever. But basically, Square's definitely jumped the gun, and it cost them big time. From what I hear, Final Fantasy XIV now is a very enjoyable experience.
Apparently, and I would never have believed it, and I still don't. But a lot of people that I trust really like it. That does mean something to me.
I mean, this year really didn't see too much of the freemium style games pop up or games go to freemium. And in a complete switch, I mean, WildStar... How's this? This kind of goes with everything. Both Final Fantasy XIV and WildStar have systems that you can pay for your monthly subscription through in-game currency. Basically, if you play the game enough, you can fund it using in-game currency that you've earned. Now, from a Final Fantasy XIV style, if making money in that game is as hard as it was in 11, it would take you 30 days of 8-hour days to pay for that monthly subscription. But it's definitely an interesting thing, because if you pay for, say, let's say you actually have to pay for 6 months. Mm-hmm. Over that 6 months, maybe you, just by playing very casually, you could pay for the 7th.
We have to consider that in an MMO's economy, because money can get created every time you kill a mob or whatever, they need some mechanism to remove money from the economy, and they do that through gold sinks and whatnot, and maybe paying for the subscription with your in-game currency is a viable gold sink for this. I know I've lately been looking at some of the cryptocurrencies available online, like Bitcoin and Dogecoin and whatnot, and I've been thinking to myself, what happens if these get taxed? And it's an age-old debate. What if MMO currency gets taxed? And since you can pay for your MMO with in-game currency, does that have true intrinsic value?
Yeah.
All that aside, it's a good idea, I think. On MMO front, you said that WoW's numbers would drop, confirmed.
Yeah.
And that Old Republic might not last to the year's end. You were wrong on that one.
I was, and I'm still surprised.
I'm surprised it's still alive, too. We talked about this when I brought up shooters, but you said there would be less corridor shooters because devs and players are getting sick of them. We'll see a new Halo late 2013, early 2014, but more Call of Duty and Medal of Honor style games.
Yeah, I'd say that's partially confirmed, if not completely.
You mentioned that you thought there would be new Unreal and Quake titles announced, but they were not.
No, actually, it looks like those two titles are pretty much dead in the water, and that they're more of a engine building company now, because the Unity engine...
Oh, the ID did Unity?
I believe so.
I don't think that's right. Google it right now! As much as I hate to talk about Wikipedia, it might be better to look for a Wikipedia entry on this.
It's definitely not the first place I go to for most things. Or am I thinking a different engine, maybe?
Well, ID has made some engines they've licensed, like the Quake 2 code base and whatnot.
Did ID made Quake? Yeah.
Yep, correct.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I can't confirm that... Well, what is the Quake engine?
That's ID.
Yes. No, I mean the actual Quake engine. This should give me a history here quickly. Quake engine tools. Family tree of Quake engines. Here we go. Okay, so Quake 3 engine was the last one they had.
Yeah, and Quake 4 was made out of it as well.
Okay, well, I'll just take that back then. Moving on.
You're hoping to see Kingdom Hearts 1.5 get a North American release.
Which it did.
But you doubted Kingdom Hearts 3 would get announced.
And I'm still kind of surprised that it was announced, but I don't expect to see Kingdom Hearts 3 until 2015 at the earliest.
You predicted that Square would leverage its old titles a bit more, which has happened to a degree. We're going to see FF6 on phones with a bit of enhanced remake stuff like new spell effects.
Yeah.
FF4, the after years, got a polygonal make for iOS and Android. The FF4 polygonal base game as well.
Yeah.
And the bunch of little phone original games that Square has made for iOS and Android. So, but those aren't leveraging old games. Now,
yeah, no.
We have seen Secret of Mana and Chrono Trigger for sure.
That wasn't this year, though. The Chrono Trigger and Secret of Mana were the previous year. So,
True.
This year they didn't leave it shit.
Sure. But they kind of did.
Okay. Final Fantasy X and 10-2 comes out early next year. They've been working on.
Mm-hmm.
So they leveraged one of their titles, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's a half-hearted, confirmed sort of, kind of moving on.
You predicted a new Dragon Quest would be announced for the Wii U, that it would be single player
False.
and not use motion controls.
Nope.
Instead,
we're getting Final Fantasy VII on iPhone.
Oh, whatever. It's 6.
Sorry, no. I said Final Fantasy. We're getting Dragon Quest VII on iPhone,
Oh, goody.
which was the worst of the group. Dragon Quest VIII, however, is coming to iPhone, and I enjoyed that game.
Maybe I should finally play it, because I enjoyed the demo, and then I just didn't play the full one.
And just grab your old, if you still have your old PS2 copy,
Probably not.
or you can borrow mine, just use the emulator on the computer. It looks a lot better.
Maybe. I don't know, Dave. We don't use illegal programs on this podcast.
I'm not using illegal. I own a PS2.
You predicted that Carlos would not finish Arkham Asylum this year.
Totally
Confirmed.
confirmed.
You predicted, this was more of a general prediction, that it would be a lean game year. We won't see the new systems until late in the year. We'll see less last-gen games, less portable games. That's kind of a hit-and-miss one. We did only see the new consoles late in the year for sure.
Yeah.
Late released, or they were announced early enough. Last gen is still getting a fair amount of titles, 360, PS3, and Wii U doesn't count there.
Sadly, I still have to put Wii U into the quote-unquote the new generation. However, I still stand by my prediction, mainly based on the games that we're seeing released are cut-down versions of the new systems ones. For example, Assassin's Creed 4. It came out on all the current gen and the next gen. Which one was the better version? The next gen.
For sure.
So I don't think we're going to see any or many games that are truly intended for PS3, except small niche titles, aka anything by... Or who brought out games like Disgaea?
Nippon Ichi.
Yeah, but who? Atlas.
Oh, yeah.
Atlas games will still go to PS3 completely because they only really translate older games or bring out older games. But
there were quite a few portable titles this year. Some pretty big names and really good portable titles too.
Bravely Default for 3DS next year. I'm looking forward to it.
I'll see. I had my eye on the game here and there. I'll see.
It looks good.
At the moment, my turn-based RPG fix is getting met by Mario and Luigi Dream Team.
Yeah.
But those games don't tend to last very long, so...
No, they don't.
Next prediction from Dave. You predicted a new Star Ocean, Persona, and Tales game.
So, Persona, confirmed.
Absolutely.
Tales game, confirmed.
Always confirmed.
And Star Ocean, unless we count the social iOS game, not confirmed.
Won't be any shittier than the other Star Ocean games. Star Ocean.
I just smacked him in the arm. Yes, it was much worse.
Predicted that we would see a new D3 expansion. We did. Reaper of Souls.
Well, I believe my prediction was actually that we'd see it released in 2013. For that, I'm wrong.
I thought you just said we'd see it, but who cares? I'm going to say you're right on that one.
Okay.
You also predicted we'd see Titan. We talked about that. You predicted a new Guild Wars 2 expansion. Now... There was no actual expansion pack, but certainly the game itself has seen expansion.
Well, definitely the game world keeps on changing. I mean, Guild Wars calling its content every couple weeks a living world content area has definitely been true because the world has been changed. So, I mean, they've done not quite as much to the world as, say, Cataclysm did to WoW, but... just about, and that says a lot for the fact that we paid for it once.
Yeah.
I probably dropped another $50 on the game for bag expansions and other things like that, but something that was my choice.
Sure.
And I could have done that with in-game money. I chose not to.
Yeah.
So, I'm still giving Guild Wars 2 a massive thumbs up. I've probably put about 25 hours into it over the past 2 to 3 weeks. Definitely on a Guild Wars kick right now. So, yeah, no, I was wrong about the expansion, but it hasn't needed it. And being a year and a bit into its life cycle, where people are not clamoring for the next big expansion, LOL, that says a lot about how Guild Wars 2 has been structured.
Yeah, and you're right. I don't see a lot of people saying, man, when's the next expansion like they do in WoW? And that really highlights the different design philosophies ArenaNet and Blizzard have.
If anything, the thing I hear on the forums for Guild Wars is, man, we need to slow down because I'm not having enough time to do the stuff. I mean,
damn it, stop being so awesome, ArenaNet. Why are you being so awesome?
Stop putting content out every couple weeks. I can't keep up with the achievements or the events and everything else. I'm casual, everything else. But as much as they could step back and do it every 3 weeks, no, stick to 2 weeks, because then they still give you another 2 weeks during the next event to do most of that stuff, even if it's changed just a little bit.
You predicted that we will not see a new Mass Effect game.
Which... confirmed.
You predicted that the prequel to the Arkham games would not be as good as Arkham Asylum or City.
Fuck, hit that one on the nail.
Reviews say, yeah, it's definitely less impressive, but I stopped playing them, so I can't really talk. I know a friend and occasional guest of the show, Richie, is a big fan of Arkham Origins. And he tends to
Something wrong with that boy.
Oh, jeez. I'll let him know you said that. You predicted more MMOs will die, but we talked about that already. I don't know why.
Yeah, Warhammer down.
You predicted Age of Conan would die this year, and
I'm wrong.
Against all odds.
How the hell is that game still going?
It's not that good.
It sucks.
Yep.
I mean, City of Heroes shut down this year, and it was sad.
I thought it was last year.
No, it was this year.
This year? Okay.
And I was sad to see it go, and I hadn't touched it in a year and a half. But fucking shitty Age of Conan...
What do you do? People still play Final Fantasy XI, for Christ's sake. So.
Yeah, retardation.
Yeah, like, I make fun of Star Ocean, but Final Fantasy XI, Jesus. You predicted we'd see a new Sonic game. We saw Sonic Lost World.
Yep.
It has Yoshi's Island DLC, which gives me complex man feelings, because I've wanted to see a Mario Sonic proper crossover platformer for some time.
Oh, but what about the Olympics?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to kill you. You predicted we'd see a lot more remakes and re-releases, and that 2013 would be a marquee year for that.
And I was wrong on that. We really did not see so many... we didn't see enough re-releases, remakes, or... we got DuckTales.
Yeah, DuckTales Remastered. Great game. Everyone needs to play it. Don't listen to stupid Mike Matei and his shitty opinions, please. It is actually quite awesome.
You could just not give him any airtime, and therefore he would cease to...
No, I'd rather just call him a fucking asshole and a bit of an idiot, you know. I'll do it to his face, too. Fuck that guy.
He's allowed his opinion, even if it's wrong.
He's allowed his opinion, and I'm allowed to call him a fucking... To quote my cousin when we were playing Sonic 2, I'm allowed to call him a fucking cumlord.
Fair enough. Moving on, please.
You predicted that there would be a new Final Fantasy VI port for phones, and you were dead on the money on that one.
Yep.
So let's go to my wish list of what I wanted to see for 2013. I wanted to see a Strangers in Paradise Arxis fighting game for some reason.
Obviously, it never happened.
Where I could Kachu Roman cancel shit. I wanted to see Nintendo and Sega release new versions of their old consoles with brand new 8 and 16-bit games released.
Nope.
I wanted to see the Steampunk Zelda game that was rumored at 1E3 and never happened. With Epona the motorcycle.
Yeah.
I wanted to see Final Fantasy 6-2 by Obsidian Entertainment.
Nope.
I wanted to see a remake of Chrono Trigger by Obsidian Entertainment or BioWare, where Shala joins you and thus erases the events of Chrono Cross, and a customizable main character, because Chrono was basically that anyway. I wanted the Skullgirls DLC to actually get made. That actually happened.
Dun, dun, dun.
I wanted to see David Sirlin's fighting game get funded. That hasn't happened yet. Probably going to happen in the next decade. And I wanted to see a Knuckles, Tails, Chaotix open-world Spider-Man 2 style game. That did not happen, but it should. Onto your crappy wish list.
Fuck you.
You wanted to see a Lunar 3 made by
Proper.
Game Arts and translated by the now non-existent Working Designs.
Long non-existent working designs.
Hoping to see a new Grandia game, and I'm a little surprised there wasn't one, actually.
Grandia, I've heard a couple things on the grapevine. We might see one in 2014.
Maybe.
We could hope.
You were hoping for a new Back to Roots Breath of Fire game.
Nope.
And then Breath of Fire 6 came out for mobiles in Japan.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Social bullshit.
You wanted more PSP Mega Man and Mega Man X classic remakes in the same vein as Mega Man Powered Up and Mega Man Maverick Hunter.
And we almost had Legends 3 and didn't get that. And so now we've got, what is it? Mighty
Number 9.
Mighty Number 9 to take the place of that.
You wanted to see a new Dark Cloud game, and you couldn't shut the fuck up about Monica's tits.
That was you.
We are doing a classy podcast here, Dave.
You're
You
on
can't
it,
talk
so
about
no.
tits all the time.
Uh-huh.
God, I want to suck them. You hoped for a new Mercenaries game, whatever that is.
Yeah.
You were hoping for more new classic-styled RPGs. Now, there's early next year's Bravely Default for the 3DS. And
Yeah.
Mario and Luigi 4, which I have. Do we count The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds? I think we have to.
Yeah.
And it was a good one. Holy shit.
No, it was a good game, and it shows where future Zeldas need to focus.
At the moment, with respect to the fact that I probably haven't played as many games as I should have this year, that right now, that's my game of the year for this year. You wanted to see a new .hack title.
Not getting it.
And Skies of Arcadia re-release.
Still not getting it.
Which I would also like to see. And with that, we have gone through our predictions and wish lists that we made last year.
We'll be doing another podcast near the end of the year here with all of our next year predictions.
And wish lists and
wish lists and upcoming games we're looking forward to.
In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane where we got to embarrass ourselves by not knowing anything about the future. And we hope that you will stick around for another year of Dave and Carlos.
Sounds good, my friend.
Yes, this has been Carlos.
And this has been Dave.
Signing off for Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah. Fuck, I didn't say what I wanted to say. I wanted to say Chappy Chanukah.
Oh, okay.
Chappy Chanukah, Happy Kwanzaa. A festive
holiday season to you, however you may celebrate.
And may the odds be ever in your favor if you choose to partake in a deadly game of Hunger Games.
So, if you've liked what you heard, you want to leave us some feedback, you want to give us some criticism, whatever, our podcast site is tfgtg.blogspot.com, where you can also find the feed link and our YouTube channel.
You can also find us on Twitter at TFGTG. Yeah. There's no way to continue that. So
There's no way to continue that sentence.
Please leave us some feedback. We accept good and bad. We will usually respond, seeing as we have such a small group audience.
We do have thousands of millions of followers, so we might not respond to you right away.
Sure, let's go with that.